Charm City Kings. The film starts in Baltimore with 14-year-old Mouse, Jahi Winston, watching a video of his late older brother Stro, Tiquin Ford. Since he was a child, Mouse was fascinated with riding dirt bikes because of Stro. He goes to get his own bike from a friend, but moments after he hits the road, Mouse is stopped by police. He is picked up by Detective Rivers, Will Catlett, who frequently looks out for Mouse, even though the boy doesn't like to be seen with him. He is especially embarrassed when Rivers drives him home, and his friends can see him. Mouse lives with his mother Terry, Teyonah Parris, and little sister Shay, Milan Ray. Terry is harsh toward Mouse, but it is to avoid him having a similar fate to Stro. He is also aspiring to be a vet, and he frequently volunteers at the animal shelter. Mouse also rides bikes with his best friends Lamont, Donielle Tremaine Hansley, and Kezii Curtis. They go to Mouse's house to get him to join them in meeting a new girl who is staying with her grandmother, Chandler DuPont. The boys ride their bikes to introduce themselves, and while she finds them to be rather foolish, she does find Mouse endearing. The boys are then sent away by Nikki's grandmother. Every Sunday in the summer has an event known as The Ride, where other dirt bike riders gather to ride across the streets. Mouse and his friends bring their bikes there, hoping to get the attention of the infamous street bike crew, Midnight Clique, and their leader MNC Black's, Meek Mill. Mouse attempts to show off on his bike, only to face plant on the concrete. Nikki also happens to be there taking pictures. Mouse tells her about the culture of bike riding and his fascination with the clique. The event is then broken up by the police. One of the clique throws a brick at a cop car, leading to them pursuing the gang until they are given orders to stand down, allowing the gang to escape. Later that night, the boys ride to find the clique. They are confronted by members Queen, Lacaria Doughty, and Jamal, Pacino Braxton, who dismiss them as just kids. When Mouse tries to turn his bike on, it doesn't work. After Lamont and Sweartigid leave, Mouse is approached by Blacks, who offers to help with the bike since he works in a garage for his parole. He recognizes Mouse as Stro's younger brother, as Blacks knew him and used to ride with him, and Stro would always talk about Mouse. Blacks offers Mouse a chance to help work in the garage without pay, and Mouse agrees, but also asks if he can get Lamont and Sweartigid in on it. The boys go to work in the garage the next day, but Lamont and Sweartigid don't like working for free when they could be enjoying their summer. Mouse then goes over to see Nikki again. He learns about her home life with her mom not being great, while she learns that his real name is Myron, and Mouse was a nickname that came after he managed to catch a mouse in the house. Mouse tells Nikki he will make the most of her time there, especially since she doesn't have a phone. Mouse spends more time with Blacks, who eventually allows him to ride a rebuilt bike as a delivery across town. He picks up Nikki and goes for a ride. As they stop somewhere, Mouse is approached by a young man named Derek, Marvin Rahim, who used to know Stro. He asks Mouse if he can take a quick ride down the block. Mouse relents and does so, but Derek leaves him stranded there. Mouse panics and goes to Lamont and Sweartigid, who already knew Derek as someone with a reputation for stealing bikes and then breaking them down to sell parts. The three go to Derek's garage to try and get the bike back, but he says it's gone. He even orders them at gunpoint to leave until the clique arrives. Derek becomes fearful when Blacks approaches him, but instead of retaliating, Blacks simply warns Derek against doing it again. Unsatisfied, Lamont grabs a brick and hits Derek with it before pummeling him to near death until the others stop him. Jamal then delivers the blow to knock Derek out cold. Blacks expresses disappointment to Mouse in how he handled himself with Derek. When Mouse tries to ask for work and running with the clique to make extra money that he needs to help out at home, Blacks refuses, and Mouse quits the garage. Back home, Terry also scolds Mouse for not being at the vet anymore, worrying that he is getting into trouble. Rivers also starts following Mouse to make sure he doesn't hurt himself, but Mouse crudely tells him off in an attempt to get away from Rivers. The boys decide to approach Jamal about running jobs for them. They take the boys on, allowing them to earn some extra cash. When Nikki approaches Mouse to take pictures, he brushes her off and rides away with another girl. Terry later finds Mouse's hidden money stash, and she berates him, asking if he wants to end up like Stro. Terry ends up kicking him out of the house, and Mouse goes to stay with Sweartigid. Meanwhile, Rivers goes to the garage to speak to Blacks. He knows that he had involvement in whatever happened to Stro, but Blacks believes Rivers doesn't care about the other black boys on the street since he has put many of them away in prison. Mouse goes to the garage again and finds that Blacks' dog Sophie isn't feeling well. They take her to the vet and find that she has a gastric dilation. The vet says that they could operate on her, but Sophie may not survive due to her age. Mouse makes the hard decision to help put Sophie down. After the procedure, Blacks comes clean to Mouse over what happened to Stro. He sent Stro out on a run, wherein Stro got killed while riding. Blacks has lived with the guilt ever since and thought that taking Mouse under his wing would make him feel like he was doing the right thing. Mouse leaves Blacks by himself. The boys go to Jamal for another job. They go to rob a convenience store that they usually go to, thinking the owners won't retaliate. They are proven wrong when the owner's wife brings out a rifle. After Lamont fires a shot, the woman begins to fire at them, killing Sweertegid. Mouse and Lamont escape and split up. Mouse goes to Blacks's garage to tell him what happened. The police, led by Rivers, arrive at the garage after learning of the incident. Blacks ends up taking the blame for everything so that Mouse will not go to jail. Even though he knows the truth, Rivers takes Blacks in despite Mouse's protests. Terry watches the news report of the robbery and hears that a boy was killed. She starts to call Mouse's phone until he walks into the door. He and Terry tearfully hug each other. 1 year later, Mouse is working for the vet. He keeps in touch with Nikki after apologizing for his behavior, and she agrees to see him again soon. Mouse runs into Lamont after a long departure. They appear to be on friendly terms, despite being more distant now, and they are still mourning Sweertegid's death. After they part ways again, Mouse returns to Terry and Shay with groceries. On the streets of Baltimore, a dirt bike gang known as Midnight Clique is infamous among the police and the community. 14-year-old Mouse wants to join ever since his late older brother Stro showed him how to ride. He gets the attention of the clique's leader, MNC Blacks, who knew Stro. He allows Mouse to start helping out at his garage to work on the bikes. Mouse gets his friends Lamont and Sweertegid in on the work, but when they want to make money, they start running drugs for the clique against Blacks's wishes since he felt responsible for Stro's death after sending him out on a run. The boys go on a run to rob a convenience store, but it ends tragically when Sweertegid is shot and killed by the store owner's wife. Blacks takes the fall for the robbery to spare Mouse the jail time and allows him to return home to his mother. 1 year later, Mouse works for the vet and is helping his family more.